Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arvell Keithley. My persuasive speech is over the fact of whether or not juvenile offenders should or should not be charged in adult court. This coming from an individual who has made a lot of mistakes as a juvenile delinquent. Do you honestly believe that the same mistake that you've made as a juvenile will be the same mistakes you will make as a matured adult? As a parent, would you want for your child to be charged as an adult for a mistake he or she made, or would you rather your child to be sentenced to the juvenile courts where the rehabilitation process is more therapeutic, so that your child's psychological needs are being met? Would you want your child to be sentenced to adult courts where the process is not to rehabilitate and to not focus on the psychological process, but to punish and consequence them for immature mistakes that they make inside of this institution? My purpose for this speech is to inform individuals about the negative detriments and psychological downfall from sentencing immature juveniles to the adult courts, with the hopes to persuade my audience and to leave individuals informed about what is actually wrong with the process of sentencing juveniles to the adult courts. There are three main points to this speech. The 3 points consist of what is the juvenile justice system, how do teenagers in prison have a shockingly high suicide rate, why in prison teenagers is unsafe for them and others. Each one of these 3 points is supported with information from articles and information found while conducting research to support my beliefs with evidence. So to begin, I would like to start off with what is the juvenile justice system. While conducting research, I had come upon the book Juvenile Crime, Juvenile Justice, where in chapter 5 on page 154 it explained the motive behind the juvenile justice system. According to this book, the juvenile justice system was established in the United States about 100 years ago with the intent of diverting youthful offenders with the destructive punishments from the destructive punishments of the criminal courts system and encouraging rehabilitation based on the individual juvenile's needs. Its main point was to focus on the child or adolescent as a person in need of assistance, not on the act that brought them upon the course. Juveniles are immature and incapable of being able to function while being expected to put forth the actions of a matured adult. Now moving on to why teenagers in prison have a shockingly high suicide rate. According to the article, teenagers in prison have a shockingly high suicide rate by Lynn Darrow. This was done on October 10, 2014. On any given day in the year of 2012, there were close to about 2,400 juveniles serving time in adult or federal prison. Those juveniles were more likely to commit suicide than were those of inmates of any other age group. In better words, teenagers in adult facilities are twice as likely to commit suicide as are adults in adult prison. They are also far more likely to commit suicide than teenagers who are in a juvenile detention center or in any other alternative program. The unfathomable part about it is that even after they are released from prison, those who do not commit suicide, who have the experience of being a teenager in an adult criminal justice system, can be hazardous to the mental health of those juveniles. Here I have a page that was printed out from that article, basically just showing that the ones that are juvenile delinquents, chances of committing suicide is a lot higher than those of any other age groups. Here is the juveniles, and here is any other age group, basically from the ages of 24 all the way up till the age of 50. And it shows that at the age of 17 and below, their chances are a lot higher than those of any other age group. Lastly, why imprisoning teenagers as adults is unsafe for them and others. According to Lynn Darrow, by putting juvenile delinquents in adult prisons does not only just increase danger to themselves, juveniles are much more vulnerable to be assaulted by other adult inmates as well. Juveniles get treated as adults in the theory because they have committed particularly serious or heinous crimes, but even when controlling for the seriousness of the crime and other factors, youth who have been in adult prisons are more than likely to commit further acts of violence than those who serve their time in juvenile facilities. Coming to a final close and the conclusion, I honestly believe that juvenile delinquents shouldn't be sentenced to the adult courts. Juvenile delinquents' needs are not being met when sentenced to the adult courts. The juvenile justice system was created for a reason. It was invented with the intent to focus more on the treatment process and therapeutic concepts. In order to keep youth from being part of the high recidivism rate that we have today, we are not helping juveniles psychologically. Their needs are not being met. These juveniles need counseling. Not to mention the educational needs are not being met either. Juveniles in prison suicide rate is shockingly high compared to those who are sentenced to the juvenile justice system. Not only are they harming themselves, but this allows them to be preyed upon by the adult inmates who are looking for an easy target.